guys, welcome to Players United. Welcome to another video. And PSG won, Barcelona won, and Barcelona are knocked out of the UEFA Champions League because we were unable to beat PSG at the Parc des Princes. But we tried. We really tried. We gave it our all. And you know, it's not that we were not capable of doing it. It's not that, you know, it's just one of those days. Some days the ball goes into the back of the net, and some days it doesn't. And that's what football is all about. I have to say that I'm very proud of the team overall, but I'm also very, very disappointed and kind of very angry. Because if I see this game today, and I see the games against Sevilla, I am like, did we have to wait until we were basically like knocked out to see this? Like, why couldn't you do this at the beginning of the season? Like, I just don't understand it, man. Like, you're telling me that in like the space of 3 weeks you found a solution, you found the miracle solution all of a sudden? Like, come on. Like I don't understand, man. Like, how were you able to pull this off now, but you were not able to even be close 3 weeks ago? And I have to admit, when I saw the starting 11, I was like, oh no, we're gonna play a 4-2-3, aren't we? But to be fair, this 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 did a good. We did a good job, for sure. It's just that I don't know what to say. Like, this was reminiscent of the comeback against PSG back in 2017. Like, I see both games, and the only difference is that the chances that we created did not go into the back of the net, because everything else was extremely similar. I think I saw somewhere on Twitter like PSG showed maturity today, and I was like, what the actual fuck are you watching? Like, PSG today had the same problem that in that game, which was they have no idea what's going on because we're moving the ball fast too fast, and they're getting pushed back, which is something that Pochettino, the same as Emery, did not want at the time. And we were able to push them back and create chances after chance after chance after chance. And their counterattacks not successful because they get frustrated because they're really pushed to their own half, which they're not used to. And you're telling me you were not able to do this? Like, was it that much of a difference between the 1-4 and this game? Like, come on. Like, I am so frustrated to see this. I think that we really could have done something different, and in another day we win this game. We win this game, or we destroy them in the first half. Anyways, let's talk about lineups, and then we'll continue to talk about the game. Barcelona to go with Ter Stegen in net, Mingueza, De Jong and Lenglet in defense, a midfield of Pedri and Busquets, with Albandes as wingbacks, Griezmann in that center attacking mid role, and then Dembele and Lionel Messi up top. With PSG up to go with Navas in net, Florenzi, Marquinhos, Kimpembe and Kurzawa in defense, Paredes, Verratti and Gay in midfield, and up top, Julian Draxler, Mauro Icardi and Kylian Mbappe. Alright, let's talk Lenglet. Like, I don't want to be harsh. I don't want to be harsh, but Lenglet is... I'm not going to say Lenglet is making us lose games this season, but Lenglet this season is really making us hard. It's making it really hard for us to win games. Like, because, you know, he doesn't see Icardi when he steps on Icardi. And, you know, you could call that an accident. And it is an accident. The problem is that he's had an accident against Madrid, against PSG, in this game, in the other, against Sevilla. Like, the problem is that he's not having one accident in a one-off game. He's having an accident, like, pretty much every other game. And, like, that's a problem. That's a problem because that means you're an error-prone center back. Which is not that you're a bad center back, it's just that you are prone to make a lot of errors. Which before this season was not some. Actually, since the game against Bayern, it's been like Longley's a completely different player after that. Like before Bayern, I was secure. I was secure that if Longley has, you know, a good partner that leaders that defense, he's gonna be a good complement. He's gonna do his job. He's gonna complement the other center very well. But after the defeat against Bayern, it seems like Longley has lost it mentally. Like I don't know what's going on. Like really, I mean, guess I thought against Mbappe actually he held his own fairly well, which is, you know, fairly surprising because I was expecting a lot of damage from Mbappe. But I mean, guess I was holding his own very, very well. You know, there's a difference when you leave 2-on-1 with Kurzawa and Mbappe against Dest than having a 1-on-2 of Minguez and Dest against Mbappe. You know, big difference. But overall, I would have to say that that's probably the worst. Like Longley, you know, because it hits you. You're dominating the game, and then you all of a sudden concede a dumb penalty that, you know, just hits you mentally. But we didn't fall back mentally. We still went ahead and did our game, and we played really well. Also, talking about Griezmann, I want to thank Griezmann for his commitment, for working really hard. But my world, like what, like, you know, if today we had Haaland instead of Griezmann, we go through. We go through 100% of the time. 100%. This game with Haaland instead of Griezmann, we win it. We win it, and we actually batter PSG today. But that didn't happen. And the issue is that Griezmann, yeah, he does a lot of work. He runs the yards. But the problem is that he is not decisive enough. Like, he's decisive once in a blue moon. We need a player that's decisive every single game. That, you know, when Messi has players around him, that he needs to be the man to step up. Like Griezmann, it's supposed to be this player that led France to the World Cup. I mean, I don't think that he personally is that. Like, I thought that the stars of the World Cup were Mbappe, Pogba, Kanté, and Varane, and Umtiti, but that's beside the point. Griezmann needs to be decisive in these kind of games. Like, yes, in the association, working hard, coming back and helping back, yes, all of that is great. But we didn't pay 120 million euros for someone that works hard and does well. We paid 135 million euros for someone that needs to contribute in these kind of moments. Like normally when Messi cannot show up in this kind of stage, is because he has like 3 or 4 players on him. And that means that there is a lot of space for someone else to be decisive. You have to be decisive in these kind of games. Dembele did not have his game in terms of the finishing, but he was creating his own chances, which is more than what I can say for Griezmann. Again, not gonna batter Griezmann because we needed this, but in other games like against Madrid, against Atletico Madrid, in the final of the Copa del Rey, we cannot have Griezmann. Like, if we're gonna play with this formation, it has to be Messi and Dembele up top and another centre midfielder that actually does the work of a centre midfielder. Because it seems like Griezmann is in a limbo of he works a lot, but he's not a centre midfielder, doesn't do the work of centre midfield, doesn't, you know, generate play and stuff like that, and is not decisive enough as a forward. Like, he's like in a limbo where I just don't think Griezmann is gonna succeed at Barcelona, and I would like cut my losses with him. If you have to sell him at 30 or 50 million euros, do that and cut your losses, because you clearly, Bartomeu obviously didn't do the right investment, just signed a name. Valverde probably didn't want him, and that's the thing. Dembele, oh my god, Dembele. You know, Dembele is one of my favorite players, but god dang it, like, can someone teach these men how to shoot? Like, it's so inconsistent, because in the game against Sevilla, he puts both in the back of the net. In this game, I don't know what on earth is going on. Like, one shot, normally his shots are really powerful regardless of the accuracy, but one shot today was very, very soft. The other ones were like going out of the stadium. Like, oh my dear lord, like someone. Dembele. I'm not asking Dembele, because Dembele with his skill set has to be a player that scores minimum 20 goals and plus 15 assists a season. Minimum, by the bare minimum, that should be the stats of Dembele. Like, he's a player that has a lot of speed, that's good at breaking into space, that has good control with both feet, that his body feints are exceptional, that's ambidextrous, that has really good shot power. The one thing you need is just decision making at the time of shooting, and actually like good shot positioning. Like, that's all you need. Can someone teach it to him? Because if he can learn these kind of skills, playing in this role like as a second striker, kind of running in behind the central area, he's a player that's going to cause a lot of danger. A lot of danger. And what can we say about the best player in the world, in the history of the sport? Lionel Messi, you know, the player that doesn't show up in the big moments apparently, rips one from God knows how long, and makes it 1-1, you know. Like, this score doesn't reflect the game because Messi, like, okay, yes, he missed a penalty, and that's football, you know. If people are going to rip into Dembele for, like, missing chances, I'm going to tell you that Messi scored worldly and missed probably the easier shot, which was the penalty. And it is what it is. This is football. Football is not math. You should treat it as if it is math, but it's not math. It's, you know, 1 + 1 in football is not necessarily 2. 1 + 1 in football can sometimes be -1. And it is what it is. It's the kind of world we live in. And overall, I think the midfield was superb. Pedri was, my dear Lord, Pedri was sensational. Holy moly, that was great. Just a shame that we didn't get Steely Bush today. Like, you know, if I had to say my criticisms for today for Koeman is, please, why is Pjanic playing today? Like, you haven't played him all season. I'm not going to criticize Pjanic that much because he hasn't played the season, but don't play him today. He's obviously low in confidence. You know, he doesn't have the energy of a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, however old Puch is. Play Puch. Like, I don't have a problem with you putting in Ilaix. It's just put Puch and Ilaix. Don't put Puch or Ilaix. Like, come on. Busquets today, I thought also had a really good game. And this is the kind of thing. This is the thing that I always said. Busquets, if he has, you know, a good system around him, if we are the dominant side, Busquets outshines. Like, because that's what he wants. Busquets wants to be on a side that normally has the ball, because he can position himself closer to the other midfielders in their own penalty area and can recover balls, you know, with a lot more ease. And that's his role, of cleaning up the play. If he's sitting back and with 2 lines of 4, then that's a problem because he's not used to that, and that's not what Busquets is all about. Alba and Dest, you know, attacking wise, we're fine, we're okay. Overall, De Jong was pretty good, playing the ball at the back as that third center back. I missed him. I think that if we had Piqué or Araujo today, that would have been great, because that means that we could have had De Jong probably instead of Griezmann. I had De Jong, you know, arriving into the penalty area to, you know, create danger. Because I felt that we needed that midfielder to go into the penalty area to create danger, because Pedri doesn't have, you know, doesn't seem to be confident taking shots. Busquets is not a shooter. Like, we needed someone like that. Didn't happen today, unfortunately. We saw in the second half that I saw Trincao, who did, attacking wise, did more than Griezmann during the whole game, in my opinion. I thought, you know, Trincao, if we can give him more minutes, boost his confidence, I think that, you know, for example, his shot, like, movement and positioning is like, the way that he positions his body for shots, it's much better than Dembele's. If Dembele had if he could combine both Trincao and Dembele, I think we would have a super forward in our hands. Still, things that he can work on, but overall, I really like Trincao. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Trincao this season. We also had Braithwaite today, who, I mean, didn't have much to do today. Did 1 or 2 good plays or there, but overall, we dominated. Like, I think we had like 73% of the possession, like, and that's what happens. That's the shame. The shame is that once the game turned out to be 1-1 at the Camp Nou, which should be, okay, we're gonna lose this game. Let's leave it at that. Let's seal the game and let's take that result. That's not a good result. It's a bad result, but let's take that result to the second leg. And Koeman decided not to. Decided to, you know, go all guns blazing, and of course we lost the game because the mentality was wrong. The team was like falling behind, and that's what happened, which is very unfortunate, because if we had, you know, a game that was gonna be a lot closer, we destroyed PSG today, because you saw them that mentally they were like, what is going on? Where is the ball? Where are the players? Like, one is showing up here, one is showing up there, one is showing up. Like, Keylor Navas today was like having another Keylor Navas match. Like, Keylor Navas in the Champions League is probably one of the most decisive goalkeepers I've seen in my life. Like if I had to tell you, give me a goalkeeper for the most decisive moments in a game. Like, for the most decisive moments in a game, I would say probably Keylor Navas is probably up there in the top 5 that I've ever seen in my life. The guy is unbelievable. Like, he saves shot after shot after shot, like, in crucial moments where his team really needs him. It's ridiculous. But overall, you're like, you take Mbappe out of this PSG side, they're not better than us. Like, whoever was saying that we don't have the squad quality, that we don't have good players enough to win the Champions League to be like competitive, they're not much better. That we are a lot better than them. If you take Mbappe out, Mbappe is the only player that I would take out of the PSG squad that I would say would improve us. No Neymar, no Di Maria, maybe Verratti. But other than that, I don't care about anyone else. Like, we have much better players overall. Like, Ter Stegen is a better player. De Jong is a better center midfielder than Paredes. Pedri is better than Gay. Dembele is better than Draxler. Messi better than oh my god, Icardi. Holy crap. How did we lose to a team that has Icardi in the starting 11? Like, Jesus. Like, come on. Like, it's such a shame that we lost this. We lost this in the first leg. Because if we didn't do the dummy and the thing is, I'm saying this, and I want to give the praise to Koeman in this game for getting it right in this game, but we also have to crucify Koeman for the last game. Because we lose the Champions League this year because of Koeman's tactical setup. Because today was good, today was excellent, but in the first leg it was horrible. It was an absolute disaster. Because, for example, let's put it in other words. Valverde lost the games that he lost in the Champions League because, not necessarily because of tactical setup, but because of mentality during the whole season. Because of fitness of the players. Setien loses against Bayern because the team hasn't been prepared enough to compete at the highest level possible. But today we lose, not because of physical fitness, because we're finding that department. Not because of commitment from the players, because they seem to be very committed, as seen today. So the explanation that comes is the tactical setup, because you tell me that in 3 weeks you found the magical solution all of a sudden. Like that's your mistake, Koeman. And if we see this until the end of the season, if we keep seeing like good football consistently, I don't mean like we're gonna see like 3 games in a row, and then we're not gonna see it again until like the last 3 games of the season. It's like, if we can see this, like, you know, we can have 4 out of every good 5 games, I'm gonna say, okay, Koeman, I would still not continue with Koeman just because I'm really scared of like what Koeman would do for the next season. But I would say, okay, if you're gonna play like this, I mean, I just want you to play maybe Riqui Puig a bit more, and, you know, give players like Trincao more chances. But other than that, that's fine. We can find a compromise along the middle. But if not, we can't continue with Koeman, because if Koeman is not going to be the end project of a manager, then what's left? Like, are we really going to commit to having a coach that, you know, can be the savior sometimes, but it can also be the capitulation at all times? It's very indecisive. It's just leave me wondering what could have been. Anyways, guys, rest and done. Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.